Okay. Uh, Good morning, all. This is again a discussion session. In the last discussion, last class, couple of classes, uh, whatever things I discussed, if you have any trouble in that, you can tell me now. Okay. Anyone having any issues regarding that? Have you gone through the discussion, or like, do you remember it? How this Y bus is formed, how this Y matrix is formed, incidence matrix is formed. Any other issues you can tell me right now, or else I'll just start with the topic of the next discussion. Please make sure that you understand it. It's not a subject to mug up. You have to understand this, only then you can work with it. Okay. So I'll just start. I'm sharing my screen. I'll go through the textbook, show you the concepts. Okay, this is just a discussion phase. Do not like take it lightly and just listen through it. You try to understand, and you ask me questions. That is important. That you ask me questions if you are not understanding. Without that, you won't be able to understand it properly. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. Is the screen visible to all of you? Just tell me. Okay, is the screen visible to all of you? Is the screen visible?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
You're not getting it? Let's check.
No.
Uh, Now is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So I'm just sharing this textbook. Okay. So in hopefully you're being able to see this. So we talked about the bus incidence matrix. Okay, that is formed where this is the A is the bus incidence matrix that is multiplied to the bus matrix. What is the bus matrix? Bus matrix is the matrix formed by the bus voltages, V bus voltages. I mean, here you see from this, remember, on the left hand side we have the bus voltage across the links or the branches. On the right hand side you have the bus voltage in terms of voltage at the nodes. Okay, so if there should be something that should be multiplied with the bus with the nodes to get the voltage across the branches, right? So that is what the bus incidence matrix is all about. Now, why do you require the bus incidence matrix? Please do understand. At the end, the power system is also a circuit. You will see how difficult the circuit is, but it is much easier for us in to calculate the all the data like the voltages, currents, power, active and reactive power transfer. If we simplify the circuit, and this is the way of simplification, is that we are aware of the voltages at the nodes. That means as at bus voltages. You are comfortable with this term called the buses, right? Anyone who is not comfortable, because even in my time when I was in like some at your age, I could not understand what the buses were. So is there anyone who could not understand what the buses are? You are comfortable? What are the buses? Anyone can tell me what are the buses? Pawan, what do you think? What are buses? Pawan, you there? Hmm.
Sir, the long bars which carries the electricity.
No, basically what happens, anyone who is joining, can you all admit him? Because I'm not able to admit because I'm sharing the screen. If it is possible, so there are some other people who are joining in right now. So if it is possible, you can admit those people. Okay, Pawan, what did you say? Just repeat. I didn't get you. Pawan.
Hello, sir.
बोलो.
So that
हाँ.
they are the bars which carries the electricity.
Okay. Not exactly clear. Okay. Anyone else you can tell me. It is okay if you are you're making a mistake. Fine. But if you know the answer.
So it's kind of a node with several lines are connected.
Yes, it's basically a node. Yes, right, that is right. See, you have these kinds of, you'll see these kind of poles on the ground. So this is the ground you see. Okay. So these are the kind of poles. So you'll have this kind of buses. What happens is that uh, basically the thing is that all the wires, all the wires from different parts are coming in and joining here. Coming in and joining here. Are you able to understand, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. So this is the ground. Okay. This is the ground. Let's say this is a metal wire, a metal rod. Okay. All the wires from different areas are coming in. Are you able to visualize it?
Yes, sir.
Hmm? Mm.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So this basically what happens at this point, all the voltage of all the wires are the same. So this point is the same voltage for all the wires, right? This is called a bus. Now this can be in the form of like this. It is erected on a structure, but it also can be inside a box where again there is basically you have a copper rod or some copper connection where all the wires of different parts are coming in and getting joined. So it is kind of what, see, remember when you are like when you join two wires, you go and join them and you like you twist those wires and make it join. But you cannot do it with the power system lines. Huh? It's a very high voltage. You cannot do this thing. You go normally in the household wires, you go and you join the wires, but you cannot do that. What here it is done, these individual wires are joined to a common conductor. This would be a common conductor. This conductor is known as the bus. Okay, so is it clear to all of you now? What are the buses?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just okay, I'll just clear this out. Fine. Now this buses is done. Now you see what you are in order to solve the circuit, the things you are provided is with the are the bus voltages. Okay, you can get the bus voltages, and that is the voltage at the end of the line. Remember, understand this. You can get the voltage at the end of the line. There are a lot of potential transformers, this and that equipments are there where you can get the voltage. But what is this voltage on the left hand side? It is the voltage across the wire, that means across the branch. Okay, that you cannot get. That you cannot get. You are getting voltage at every bus or every node, but you need the voltage across every branch. Why do you need the voltage across every branch? Because if you get the voltage across every branch, you can get the current across the current through the branch, right? Because the elements inside the branch is known, it will be any kind of impedance that you can calculate. But if you know, only if you know the voltage across the branch, then only you can get the current through the branch. Is it clear to all of you? If you have any problem, please tell me. Because you need to understand it. Why do you require it? Now, why do you require to find out the current? Because when we find out the current, we know the voltage, we know the current, then we can calculate the power that is being transferred from one point to the other. You need to know what power is being transferred from one point to the other. What kind of power? It is an active power or a reactive power. Okay, so similarly, for this reason, this equation is done. On the right hand side, you have the variables, the bus voltages which are known, and on the left hand side you have bus voltages, or the branch and the link voltages which are unknown. How do you get the unknown? If you multiply the known voltages with something. What is that something? It's called the bus incidence matrix A. If you multiply A with the V bus, voltages at buses, if you multiply with the bus incidence matrix, you will get the voltages across all the branches and links. That is the concept. Okay. Now, this is the thing. The matrix is rectangular, therefore singular. If elements aik, any element here aik, its element aik are found as per the following rules. Aik if 1 is 1 if ith element is incident to and orient away from the kth node. Okay, aik is equal to 1 if the ith element, that is when you're talking about aik, we considering the ith element is incident to and oriented away the kth node. So that means what? What is B1? B1 is the voltage across the branch 1 and B1 is equal to V1. So this element A11, this element should be is 1. Okay. Now what is this VB1 is equal to V1, but actually it is V1 minus V0 because look, we have the 0 voltage node. It is V1 minus V0. So this would be AIK. Here is A10, right? It is the element between 1 and 0. It should be is 1 only if the orientation is from 1 to 0. the orientation is from 1 to 0, then it should be plus 1. If it is from 0 to 1, it should be minus 1. That is what it says. Okay. Similarly, look at this part. 3, 2. V3 minus V2. The orientation is from 3 to 2. So V3, that means A32 should be plus 1, not minus 1. Is it clear, or tell me? I'll repeat once again. You go through this, like go through this. All of you go through this and tell me whether you are getting it or not.
Excuse me, sir.
Tell me.
Sir, can you please repeat it again once?
Okay. This AIK is elements of the bus incidence matrix. The I and the K in the subscript tells you the position of the connection here. That means if, let us say, this position or first element is, see the bus incident matrix, all the coefficients are either 0, 1 or minus 1. That's it. Okay. 0 means there is no connection. Plus 1 and minus 1 means there is a connection. But the sign depends on in which direction the graph is oriented. Okay. So here it is A11, A22, A33, A44, right? A11 is basically the voltage connected to the node. Okay, A11, it should be 1. If it is like this, the direction orientation is away from 1. Basically, basically to make you understand, it should be plus 1 if the orientation is away from 1, and it should be minus 1 if the orientation is towards the 1. So in the graph, this graph, think from this, when you're talking about 1 1, A11 is the A11 is basically the this part is basically the element that should be multiplied with V1, right? Now what is V1? V1 is the bus at the node 1. Node 1 is connected to node 0. Since the orientation, see the your previously this arrow is pointed away from 1, it is taken as 1. Okay, if it is arrow is away from that element, it is taken as 1. Okay, now let us take one more. Let us take let's say this one. Okay, what is AIK? INK, what is INK? INK is 6 and 2. Okay, IK is 6 and 2. Okay, so the position is where is this thing coming? VL6 is 3 minus 2. V3 minus V2, this one. Look at this. Okay. Where it is coming from? This element. The sixth element, that is the sixth, this one is a link. It is coming from 3 to 2. So for the position 3, it should be plus 1, and from position 2, it should be minus 1. Okay? So basically, in order to, don't confuse yourself, just understand it, that when you are writing the bus incidence matrix, the element is just forget it. The element is 1 or minus 1 if it is connected. Okay? These will be 1 or minus 1 if it is connected. The element is 0 if these 2 points are not connected. Okay? Now, if the point of the first point, I mean the orientation, the element which you are finding out in the matrix, if the direction is away from that, it should be plus. If the direction is inside it, towards it, it should be minus. I have given you a circuit. Has any one of you solved it, bus incidence matrix? Because you can only understand when you actually do it. Sani, have you solved it? You should. Everyone should solve it. It is a very small circuit. It won't take. Only 2 of you have actually done it. Only if you solve it, you can actually understand. Okay. How many of you have actually tried it? By the way? Because only if you can. Tell me.
Sir, I have done, sir.
Okay. You check. Those who have not done it, please. It's my request that you solve it. Okay. Find the bus incidence matrix, and then which the new thing you have learned about this negative and positive sign, just check whether you have done the same. This is basically, you will get it just like that. Okay, you will get it just like that. It's not a new thing. You do it, you try you see whether these signs are matching or not. Okay, you check whether these signs are matching or not. Got it, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, again, I'll just explain. Sania, you are the one who was asking it, right? This problem.
Yes, sir.
Just tell me. This element is the sixth row element. Like it is A62, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is A62. Now think of this element. This is from the sixth element. Now your bus sixth element is where? This is your sixth element. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It is your sixth element. Now it is for the bus 2. You are writing this thing for the bus 2 of the sixth element. Understand this. For the sixth,
Yes,
on the sixth, for the sixth element, you are writing this element for the bus 2. Now look at the sixth element of the bus 2. The direction of current is towards it, right? Towards the 2.
Yes, sir.
So what will be the sign of 1?
-1.
-1. That's it.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. Let us see. Pawan. Okay.
Sir.
Can you tell me from this graph? I will not show you the bus incidence matrix. Can you tell me what would be the element in the bus incidence matrix of the position 5 3, A53? A53.
1.
Why?
Because it's moving away from the.
Yes. See, A53, the 5 is telling you the which element we are talking about. We are talking about this element, right? We are talking about this element, and 3 is this node. So 5 3 should be +1 because the direction is away. 5 3, 5 and 3. You see, +1. Okay.
So what about A51, sir?
A51. A51. Tell me.
-1.
A51. A51. Tell me.
A51.
0.
A51. Huh?
0.
There is no link
0.
between.
There is no connection. There is no connection. This fifth element is not connected with the one bus. So this should be A51 should be 0. Let us see. 51 is 0. Okay. Now one last one more. Let's say A 91. 91. A91. Tell me.
-1.
-1.
Yes. Okay. Very good. You see 91 should be -1. That's it. So whatever, I think you have understood how these things are written. Okay. So now why it is done like that? See, whatever the bus, however big the bus is, you can already see the number of, I mean, you can get the value of the bus voltage, that the node voltage you can get. Okay. And even the bus incidence matrix can be formed easily. You know how on the column side there should be number of buses, and on the row side it should be the number of elements. Okay. Now these values -1, 0 or 1 is, you can put it, you can check that whether this element is connected to the bus. If it is not connected to the bus, element should be 0. Now if it is connected to the bus, see the orientation. Is it entering? -1. This coming out? +1. That's it. Okay. So from that, so we are clear with this bus incidence matrix.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now you look at this. I plus j is equal to y into v. Remember, I and j all are matrices. I is the set of branch currents. J are the set of branch current sources. J is the set of branch current sources that is equal to the set of admittance into the set of voltage, node voltage. Okay. Similarly, it is written like this. Sorry, this one should be the my bad. This one should be the branch. Yes, well, I told branch voltage. So this should be the branch voltage. Okay. So a set of, again, this equation tells you that the set of branch current, remember branch, I'm not talking about node, mark my words, a set of branch current plus a set of branch current source is the sum of set of branch admittance multiplied by branch voltage. If we knew what is the branch voltage, then this bus incidence matrix was not required at all. But branch voltage, that is the voltage drop across a branch, that is difficult to find out rather than finding out the bus voltage. So bus voltage you can get, and bus incidence matrix you can calculate. So if you multiply the bus incidence matrix with the bus voltage, you will get the branch voltage. So here what it has done is that we have replaced this branch voltage as bus incidence matrix with the bus voltage. Okay, now you know what is a transpose of a matrix. Hopefully all of you know what is the transpose.
Complement.
No. Transpose is that you change the row and column. This is A. Transpose of A would be you have 4 columns and 9 rows. Okay. Let's say you have. This is the matrix you are getting, bus incidence matrix, Pawan. Okay. This would be the transpose. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
So this is the transpose. Why do we now? What happens is that here it says, if you make the transpose and pre-multiply. See, in the I don't know whether you are aware of this matrix. Matrix multiplication, whether you multiply ahead or multiply from behind, you will have different result. So we use the term called the pre-multiplication or post-multiplication. So if you pre-multiply, that is, you multiply with this A transpose here, A transpose here, and A transpose here, you'll get this equation. Nodes 1 to n. Okay, if you solve it, you will see this product, the A transpose into I, would be the sum of all the currents for every element or every row would be the equation of the currents for every branches. Okay, now since the current in the nodes, the current that is entering the node is 0, the total amount of current, this AT into I is equal to 0. Okay, so that means what? If you pre-multiply with AT, the this part on the left hand side would goes to 0. So only AT or A transpose into J is equal to A transpose Y A V bus. This remains. Okay. The reason I told you to solve the circuit was that you can only get this, how this thing happens, when you go on solving the circuit. So I'll just complete this. Just understand this. Now you do the same thing on that small circuit. All of you, all of you should do only then you'll get what is going on. When you multiply A transpose into I, it gives you the sum of all the currents at a particular node. Okay. A matrix, the bus incidence matrix, is a 9 cross 4 matrix for this case. That means it has the number of row is 9, number of column is 4. Why 9? Because there are 9 elements and 4 nodes. Okay, 9 elements and 4 nodes. Now the A transpose would be 4 rows and 9 columns. Okay, 4 rows and 9 columns. What would be like the dimension of I? What would be the dimension of I? Hmm?
9.
What would be the dimension of I?
Four.
No.
9 cross 1.
9 cross 4. 9 cross 4 with the dimension of I. 9 cross 4, sorry, 9 cross 1 would be the dimension of I. My bad. Right? Similarly, same for the J. See, this one, this formation I plus J equal to Y into V, it is like this. I, sorry. Just one second. J equal to Y into V. Are you getting it? It will be of like this. The matrix shape would be like this. Okay. Now, if you pre-multiply now this V, you can replace this V as this matrix, bus incidence matrix with voltage matrix, the bus voltage matrix, right? Is it okay? Like, are you able to understand it?
No, sir.
I'm taking out the matrix. I'm taking out the matrix shapes. Acha. Let's do it. I'm talking about the shape of the matrix. Okay. See, in the previous class, I asked you what was the matrix shape of I. This one, what is the dimension of I? What is the dimension of J? What is the dimension of V? And what is the dimension of Y? Okay, I asked you. So you found out that the I was it's this kind of matrix. One row and one column and many rows matrix, right? You found it as 3 cross 1, 4 cross 1. Remember the dimension of I? You will see, when you do, I think you have forgotten it. I asked one of you that what would be the dimension of I. Basically, I think Varsha answered it. It is for the given circuit which I have given you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you found out that the current dimension of the matrix is something like this. You have a lot many rows than the columns. The similar dimension is for the J. It also has a lot of rows but very less columns. The rows are but the Y matrix is a square matrix. It has equal number of rows and equal number of columns. Again, the bus, the I mean, the branch voltage matrix is also like this. Okay. Now we are removing this. We are replacing this bus voltage, branch voltage matrix by using the bus voltage matrix as and bus incidence matrix. So this would be the bus incidence matrix and this would be the bus voltage matrix. I'm talking about the shape of the matrix. Now what we have done is that the bus incidence matrix is being transposed and pre-multiplied. So every element, sorry, this is also pre-multiplied, all these are A. I'll do one thing. These are A transpose, and this is A. If you understand matrix multiplication, you will see a matrix similar to this can be multiplied. Matrix like this cannot be multiplied of this format. I mean, if they are not symmetrical, if they do not have the same amount of rows and columns, then matrix multiplication is possible only when the elements have different amounts of rows and columns. So these two can be multiplied. These two can be multiplied. These two can be multiplied. Now, if these two are multiplied, you will again have a square matrix. I just wanted to know you about the shape. It doesn't matter. These are just the shape of the matrix you will get. Now again, remember I gave you this graph, all your circuit. Time is almost up, so I again ask you to complete this. Okay, all of you, so that it becomes easier for you to work. I give it as 7, I guess. 7, 5, and 3. This is 1, this is 2. Again, I am giving you this circuit. Draw this circuit. Find out the matrices. Find out these in this form: I plus J equal to YB. Find out Y. Find out the bus incidence matrix. Okay, all of you do this, then we'll proceed further. Okay, Ramray, I want this thing to be solved by you.
Yes, sir.
Look at this graph, look at this circuit, and try to find out the matrices. Only then you will understand that you have two nodes here. And how many elements are there? How many elements? Anyone? How many elements are there? Pawan? Hello?
Sir, 2 branches and a link.
How many?
Only 3
elements.
elements.
No, there are no 5 elements. There are
One link.
2 nodes and 3 elements.
One link.
Why? Yes, because if you draw the graph of it, the circuit, the graph of it is like this only. You have 1 node, 2 node. This is the ground node. So you have 2 nodes, node 1, node 2. Branches, there are 2 branches, 1, 2, and this is the link. Okay, so I want all of you to solve this. Okay, thank you. I'm ending this class. Just you write your name and your USN number and You can leave, but before that, please all of you solve this. All of you, please do solve this. Okay, thank you. You can. I'm stopping there. You can leave the session.